Have you ever traveled through time? We do it every day.
Asgardia is a country with a population of more than 1 million people from more than 200 countries on Earth. Asgardia gives everyone equal opportunities, no matter what their earthly status is.
It is possible to create and live in the future right now. Are you ready? Forward progress is the solution to the entire human race. Our mission is to bridge new horizons. In Asgardia, there is no limit to the universal development in the fields of technology, finance, and arts. Asgardia is a new space and digital economy which creates opportunities for the global economy. We deliver innovations. Do you want to get on board with us? We are developing various kinds of digital businesses, attracting them to the Asgardia platform that can be backed by the means of our umbrella, i.e. franchising of the Asgardia brand. We can not only attract investments into space programs from prominent institutional investors, but also affordable amounts from the citizens of Asgardia. We comprise of more than 1 million people.
Asgardia is a chance to realize one's dream. This is a dream-driven space nation. Asgardia is a chance to belong to a community of free-thinking enthusiasts, goal-driven dreamers, and fearless innovators, theorists, and scientists.
We are the first space nation. One humanity, one unity.
Asgardia.
We are creating
The future.
What channel are you going to be on?
It's called Daily News. Daily News. Okay, right. Yep, that's what it is. Welcome, people of Earth, to Asgardia, the world's first space nation. I'm Len Topic. I'm the chair of Parliament, and it's my honor to do this. This means that I'm responsible for serving, not ruling, but serving the people you see in this meeting, having been elected to work for them, by them. My job is to try to ensure that, as best I can, I help everyone here with the project work and with the big vision of having the first child born in space responsibly and safely, and the first human space habitation. On that second one, some interesting news in the papers today, in the mainstream media today about that. We'll come to that in a minute. If you like what you hear here, then please do join. Asgardia is open to everyone. It's €100 per annum, or $100 or £100 per annum to be a resident, which gives you the full rights of a citizen, of a resident, which will become citizen. And it means you can also stand for Parliament. You can become a representative of Asgardia. What you're observing here are the most professional online politicians in human history. This is the first fully functioning digital democracy. No one comes close. And frankly, if you have used online meeting technology, you'll see that the colleagues here are in a league apart from what you normally see. We make a few mistakes, but the etiquette is so professional. We've proved that we can export, upload our democracy into space. The way this works, I will make some introductory announcements, very few today because we're meeting on Saturday. Then the Deputy Chair will make some comments. We'll open it up, and then when that's done, we'll close. I expect the meeting will be quite short today, and for the simple reason that we are meeting for a few hours on Saturday. And let me start with that now. The Asgardia Legislative Forum will take place from 1300 to 1700, I think, latest on Saturday. I'll have to check the exact close time. And that will be discussing the forthcoming digital sitting. That's taking place at the end of this month, 28th, 29th, and 30th June in the Earth calendar. Usual process. It'll be in the evening of the Friday, all day on the Saturday, and afternoon on the Sunday in the UK terms. The objective is to make sure that we have an effective parliamentary process where votes take place on some legislation as well. So the Asgardia Legislative Forum this weekend is a pre-meeting to discuss the content of that for a more formal event. And it usually means we get a lot of progress in terms of what we do at the formal meeting, because we've done a lot of the informal discussions beforehand. So please do be there, 1300 UTC on Saturday. Second of 5 points. I'm working with further, this will be formally announced on Saturday, or more formally, and so I won't go into great detail now, on the Foreign Affairs Act. There's quite a lot of work there, which I'm working with further and John and others on. This has become interesting to the head of nation. He sees this piece of legislation as so important that it will be featured at the Corfu summit. So we won't be voting on the third reading this time, because I will be meeting face to face with the head of nation to get his input. As a compliment to Further, because it means that what we're putting together here will essentially define the true interface between Asgardia and the rest of the world. That is our avenue to get state recognition and to set up our embassies, hopefully the first one being in Istanbul with Further, and everything that goes with it. So that's good news, very exciting news, but it does mean we have some work to do to get this right. Third of 5 things. If you haven't already got your package from the people who are sending the DNA into space, you're probably running out of time, so you need to do it soon. Mine's just arrived, and I'll be sending pieces of my family into space in a good way, because I want my children and their children to be able to look up at the moon and say, part of us is up there. I think it's inspirational. Massive credit to Cheryl Gallagher for organising that, and she'll be doing a presentation quite soon about this subject. I hope that I might be able to get her to do it at the Asgardia Legislative Forum as an additional item. It costs money, but it's essentially not an eternal, nothing lasts forever, but a lifelong stake in the moon, on the moon, which one day perhaps your descendants will go and access and collect. Fourth thing out of 5. There's been a lot of interest in space from a practical sense recently. I mentioned in the news today there's been talk about the permanent colonization of the moon. I intend to get in touch with the people who are involved in that. But also, you will have noticed that Elon Musk made a success of his Starship. For the first time, it went into orbit, it flew around, and it landed. It wasn't perfect, but it was survivable. Credit to Elon Musk, his process seems to work. An immensely complicated project, but takes us one step closer to the moon and Mars as well, I think. So congratulations, whatever you think of Elon Musk, not our business to make judgments about Earth politics. There is no doubt that technically he has achieved a first for the human race, and that'll be good for us too. We won't be building our own rockets. We're passengers rather than taxi drivers. But it means that there will be affordable ways to fulfill our objectives. And who knows, maybe some colleagues here and those watching at home will be on some of those Asgardian trips to space. And finally, the last thing, something I always say, please do use the news items that are always being provided, and very kindly so by the wonderful and very hardworking Rebecca Berg. She does all the really difficult work. All we have to do is put them out there. So I'd ask you to do that. One other thing which I was asked to say, there was some talk about whether these autopilots should be allowed or not. My feeling is that it's okay for them to be here. I prefer to have human beings, but it's all right for the autopilots to be here. I don't see that they do any harm, and what we do isn't secret. So what I hope you'll do is try and attend when you can. But if you want to use an autopilot for whatever reason, for now at least, unless somebody objects, I'm fine with that. Those are my announcements. Partly I'm keeping it short because I've got to do a bit more work tonight on the foreign affairs. I have to make sure that I get this. I tried to send it once already, but I wasn't very successful. Get this to relevant people. and also partly because we're going to be together a lot longer on Saturday. Peter, what do you want to say from your meeting?
Our meeting was incredibly short. Our meeting being, for those who don't know, the meeting of the chairs of committees, which we have every week. And there really was very little to say because everyone is just waiting for the ALF on Saturday. And so we chatted a little generally, but nothing specific with regard to our plans. And I don't think there have been any substantive committee meetings this week. But we keep going like we always do because this is a great project, a project in which we're all excited, to which we're all committed, and in which we intend to succeed. We will do all of that with the help of our friends, with more members, if you like, more residents, and so stick with us, move forward. It's a great project. It's easy to start a project and then abandon it. We will not be doing that. We'll be pressing it home. We need all your help, and all of the committee chairs are united in that desire. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Peter. And once again, to stress, I'm not trying to keep the meeting short. It's just there's no point in having a long meeting today if we're together on Saturday also. Let's go to Bridget next. Bridget, good to see you. And then further.
Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending on where you are. Well, I do have a piece of good news as far as the Citizenship Committee projects is concerned. The pet calendar, even though it is running a little late, is going to be up and running very shortly. The site is completed according to Riadel. We just need to put it out there, and as soon as I get a hold of her and we get the domain purchased, which is real cheap, so don't worry about that. It will be out, and again, the instructions will be very simple for that, which is if you are an Asgardian resident, you will be able to submit 2 pets. It could be your horse, your dogs, your cats, your pet lizard, whichever. And after 1 month of submissions, we will close submissions and then open voting. And the pets that are lucky enough to get into the calendar, the owners will receive some sort of reward. We are still working that part out. But the fact that your pet will be in the Asgardia calendar is, kind of special in and of itself. We will hammer out more of where they will be sold and how they will be printed. But I just wanted to let everybody know that submissions will be starting very shortly, probably within the next couple of weeks, because the site is completed and we will be able to put it out as soon as we get the domain going. There is no link yet for participation, Adriane. It is coming probably within the next week.
Thank you. You're always so hardworking, Bridget. You're such a star. And just to say, the problem with the Foreign Affairs Act is it's just taking a whole life of its own. That's why I didn't send it to you. I'm having to do this myself. I don't mind. But it's just now that it's become strategically so important to head of nation, I have to own this because I'll have to present this as well physically when I've worked this through with the others. So it wasn't any disrespect to you, though it may have seemed like it. I just got to do it myself. Let's go to further next. And I've also want to suggest 11 a.m. tomorrow, 10:00 tomorrow UTC for our meeting.
I was going to suggest that we will talk other legislations that foreign affairs given suggestion to the parliament, forward them. Maybe they will have the time to read them and we will discuss them, the possibilities to represent them to the for the next digital sitting. Maybe our colleagues like to work on them as well. Also, as Asgardians, we can read the Room magazine freely when we become residents, and it's important. It's a 3-month quarterly science magazine that gives important news about the space industry. So it will be an option for our possible students thinking becoming residents. And after that, they will be also opening some companies in our environment and do some trade around it. Thank you. Yes, my voice also came back, so I will be doing my videos in a short time. I owe to Cheryl, and it was nice to see you all.
I'm glad you're getting better, Ferda. When we spoke on Sunday, you did not sound so good. You sound so much better now. Delighted to
you.
hear that. It's really good. Keep getting better. Does
I
anybody
hope
else,
so too.
does anyone else have anything to add before we close and then reconvene? Essentially, suspend the session and reconvene on Saturday. I'm hoping that Cheryl will also do her presentation on Saturday as well. It's an open session, so if you're watching at home, then you should watch it. It's always quite inspiring, especially when Cheryl Gallagher does one of her presentations. Okay, then let's finish there. And I do applaud everyone for our efficiency. We're going to start at 1300 UTC. That's 2 o'clock British Summer Time, but 1300 UTC on Saturday. And I'll just confirm the timings. Wait a minute, I'll just open the agenda. The timings will be from 1300 to the latest, which will be, and just telling you now, 1700. So maximum 4 hours. And I do that because usually it's less than that. So 1300 to 1700, because we're starting a bit later now. But I expect it won't take the whole 4 hours. It'll probably take 2.5. Oh, it's Ricky.
Yes, if you could put the link to the station you're going to be on into the chat before we leave.
I can.
I think a lot of us would like to see it.
Let me see if I can find it. I can tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it's called. Let me see. Now, be aware that I have to be careful because we'll be talking about terrestrial politics, and as such, I won't be expressing things on behalf of Asgardia, because it would be inappropriate for me to do that if I'm there for the sake of another, for the sake of the talk about politics, because we're in a general election, and I always talk quite a lot when I'm in a general election. Let me tell you the name of it now. You'll find it fairly easily if I give you the name. Hang on. Let me just tell you, looking at my other screen. The Daily News Show. The Daily News Show. I'll write it down. I'll put it into the chat now.
Okay, thank you.
You'll see me doing my other life there. The Daily News Show with Lee Slaughter and Warren Thornton. But it's available online. There we are. That's what it is. And I'll be on there shortly after we finish. I might go in a bit earlier, in fact. Thank you, everyone. So, 1300 on Saturday. And I'll make sure that Cheryl knows that. I hope that she'll be there as well. Keep up the good work, everyone. We're really getting forward. And now that taxi driver Musk has built a cab to go, we can get 80 of us up there at a time. We only need 2 to take the whole of Parliament to the moon and beyond. Have a good rest of the day. Thanks, everyone. And leaving out the autopilots. No, okay. Sorry, when we get to 18, and then I'll shut it down. Have a good time, and further, I'll send this stuff to you this evening and to John as well. And further, 100%. Further gets some gold medal for her patience and persistence. Right. See you on Saturday. And further, what time can we meet tomorrow? That's the other thing.
No, at same time like this, is it okay?
Yeah, I'll be okay. Yeah, all right, I can do that. So 1900.
A little bit earlier, or if it is okay for you.
No, 1900's good. Yeah, 1900's good. Yeah, 1900's good. Yeah, and I'll make sure you got everything, and John as well, and the others.
And 1900 means
1900 UTC at the moment here in the UK.
Okay.
It's 7. Oh, sorry. So that was incorrect. 1800 UTC.
Okay.
1800 UTC it's 1828 here now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. And if you haven't joined Asgardia yet, do join. And thanks, Rebecca. You're an absolute star. And I just hope that everybody appreciates Rebecca's great work and use her news stories. Use her news stories, please. See you on Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow, Feda. All the best, and oh-ho.
Oh ho, everyone.
Oh-ho.
Oh,
Woohoo.
oh, oh. Arrivederci
Good night,
tutti
everybody.
mondi.